Welcome to Pointblank. My name is Patrick Osagi and my Twitter handle is PJ Osagi. And this program can be seen all over the world. Just go to our website here on MBC and go to www.mbclivetv.com. Click on the program's icon and find Pointblank. You will not be disappointed. But I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed in the Central Bank of Nigeria. They seem to have an incoherent monetary policy. What is it about subsidization or subsidizing the naira that they don't understand? We understand the Nigerian pilgrims of every religion will have the dollar subsidized by the government. Dollar to them will be sold when they're going on a pilgrimage for about under 200 naira a dollar. When in the open or the black market, the dollar is closing in on almost 400 naira as of today. How can the central bank be this incoherent? The fuel subsidy was removed because of the value of the dollar. So the people were asked to pay the full price for gas, and which really has to do with everybody in the country. So why have we done this again? Look, when I return, I will try to explain this as best as I can. And if there's any good reason, really any good reason for this subsidy to our religious brothers and sisters when they go on pilgrimage. So we'll take a quick break and I'll be right back. Welcome back, and thanks for watching Point Blank this Thursday. My name is Patrick Osagi. I'm still on this issue of the incoherent monetary policy by our central bank. From late last year, or really from the time President Muhammad Buhari took office in May of last year, the bank and this government has been finding ways to help solve the problem of the limited supply of the dollar in our economy. Economics, or simple economics, tells us that when we don't have enough dollar in our economy and the demand for the dollar far outweighs its supply, it would definitely cost more. And that's what we've been seeing. The demand for the dollar is great in that country. The central bank has since tried to reduce the demand for the dollar. They have removed certain things that the government procured dollars would not be used for. Examples of school fees, medical treatment outside the country, and a lot of other consumables. The bank actually released a list of about 40 imported items that are banned from the forex market. They were not banned that we can't have them in the country. You just can't use money you got from government or you bought from a government regulated bank to buy these items. The policy implies that those who import these items can no longer buy foreign currency from the official window to pay to their overseas suppliers. I can tell you, many of us saw this as a very positive move, a move in the right direction. Help reduce the demand for the dollar, for those things we actually call not necessary. I understand that, we actually import toothpick, but that's another story for another day. But at least the government or the bank tried to reduce the demand for the dollar. And we might then be able to subsidize, or not subsidize, to stabilize the rate. Because once this dollar goes up and down, it's a yo-yo. You can't do business on that kind of a situation. But you know what? The apex bank, the central bank, has changed gear. They have said those going to the holy pilgrimage anywhere in the world can now apply for foreign exchange at a subsidized. I cannot apply for foreign exchange, usually the dollar, at a subsidized rate of 197 naira to a dollar. This is tough to understand or to explain. Like the president once said when he was campaigning for the presidency about fuel subsidy, he said, find me a petroleum economist that can explain to me or justify subsidy. It's the same thing I will say here. Find me a monetary expert that can come and explain this. Why those going on pilgrimage, be it Christians, Muslims, whatever, whoever, should be able to buy the dollar at 197. Some people have said, yes, this is a clueless policy, but it is done to make the president happy. That's what some pundits have opined. If that is the case, we have a long way to go in that country. Policy must not be made to appease a man or a group of people. This is really disappointing. I'm really disappointed that we are still doing this at this time. I hope that is not true. Look, this I would love to hear from people. Please tweet at me at PG Osage and tell me what you think about this issue. It's really disappointing. I'll take a break, and when I return I will talk about another monetary policy that is really hard to understand. That country and its money problems with the dollar is becoming very hard to understand. So we'll take that quick break, and when I come back, I'll touch on the next issue. Just hang in there. Welcome back. You're watching Pointblank, where I tackle issues of importance to us as Africans, or especially Nigerians. Last year, Nigerians in the diaspora remitted almost $21 billion into the Nigerian economy. $21 billion. 12 years ago, in 2004, the money sent over by Nigerians from abroad was only 2.3 billion. And it has risen to 21 billion in 12 years. Why and how did we get to that amount? What I'm going to do is try to explain to you why this has happened and why the latest policy by the central bank is also another boneheaded move. So just sit tight, bear with me, and I'll come back. Remember, you're watching Pointblank, and I'll be right back. Welcome back. So how did we get to 21 billion? Is it partly because of the hardships at home and more people now have to send money home to help those at home? Or is it because of the ease we now find in sending money safely and quickly? For a long time, Western Union and MoneyGram were the only major players. Then we now started having small money transfer operators. They were all safe and quick. Within a few hours of sending money from here, we're here in Houston, your recipient will be notified by that famous alert on their phone. I don't hear alert. There was no better alert to be heard on a Nigerian phone at home than the one that money has arrived in their account. Money sent from the diaspora. 21 billion last year. There was always that relief when your family member calls you and say, I have received that money. You are happy. It was a simple process. It was an easy process. And it allowed us comfortably send 21 billion home. Whether anybody cares or not, that's a lot of money to have sent home. Then here comes the Nigerian government. They now have a new policy. Only 3 companies will be allowed to help Nigerians send money home. Western Union, MoneyGram, and Rai Money. 3. Does anybody in the central bank understand that it is going to be tough for 21 billion to pass through 3 companies? Now money you send home that can be delivered within a few hours is now going to take a few days. Does anybody remember even when Western Union started? How difficult it was to collect your money? When it first started, you couldn't collect your money in Nigeria in 3 days. It later became, next day service. Can anybody imagine what 21 billion would do to 3 outlets? How are we going to do it? I know there's Western Union all over the place, but are we going to go and be look? Right now, if I go to a shop here in Houston, and all I want to do is buy some plantains for dodo, I can also quickly send $100 to someone in Nigeria. It is that easy. It is that easy. It's unfortunate that the government has decided to take this line. 21 billion, hopefully, by the government, will now be sent by 3 companies. I can tell them now I don't need any statistics. It is just simple common sense to know that this is going to be a huge problem. And if the government thinks that 21 billion is going to come into the economy with this policy, it's not going to happen. People are going to send less money because it's going to be more difficult to send the money. And the ease at which we've been able to send money in the last couple of years, about 2-3 years now, it's been so easy, is what made the money we were sending home rise to 21 billion. The government is making a mistake on this one. But I'm going to take another quick break. When I come back, I would try to explain this whole thing, not even really explain, because I can't explain it other than I don't think this is good for us, but I'll touch on a few more things. I'll touch on what has really happened or what I believed has happened. Really giving you my point-blank opinion on this this incoherent monetary policy by the Central Bank of Nigeria and really the government of Nigeria. Another quick break, and I'll be right back. Welcome back to Point Blank. I'm still talking about what I think it's a huge mistake that the central bank is making. I mean, the fact that we're able to send 21 billion from the diaspora into the Nigerian economy last year alone means that there was something that was happening. If the government couldn't figure it out, it wasn't because we were using 3 companies. It was because we had well over 1,000 small transfer companies, money transfer companies that was doing this. Now, the argument that this new restriction is about money laundering laws in the US and in some other Western economies. Again, our government is not thinking about the people. They are listening to large corporations like Western Union. Western Union, for years, they remitted 80% of all the money sent into Nigeria. That means they had 80% of the business. That's huge. But you know what? Last year and in the last several years, they had dropped to 20% of all remittance into the country. Here in America, we would have said the Western Union lobby has done its job. And that's exactly what they have done. They've been able to convince the Nigerian government to turn the tide in their favor once again. What a shame. Doesn't the Nigerian government understand simple economic transactions? The reason 21 billion came into that country is not because of Western Union. It is because people felt comfortable with the different small companies, the ease at which we could send money. I know people who have families or children at home that are comfortably able to send a couple $100s every week because it's better for them. Now this new policy is going to allow us to start looking for people going home to send money, which has never been safe. People can tell you stories how, as I got to the airport, they stole my luggage, they stole my money. The government is now trying to restrict dollars into the economy by this policy. This is not good. Absolutely not good. Let's not forget, for those of us here in the United States, the U.S. Congress passed the Money Remittance Improvements Act of 2014. And companies that transfer money to Nigeria have so far not fallen foul of that law or act. All of them are registered companies in America. They can monitor them. All this nonsense about money laundering. Money laundering is not from America to Nigeria. If there's any money laundering, it's from Nigeria into America. And like I've said on this program before, a lot of Nigerians that steal money or embezzle money or have any kind of corrupt enrichment or enrich themselves in corrupt ways hardly ever send money into America because they know that laws would confiscate that money once they find out that it was stolen money or money that they received through bad means or weird means. So I don't understand why we cannot, I'm going to use the word peacefully, send money at our own convenience with such ease and with such speed into the Nigerian economy. People should not forget, this year alone we have a $30 billion budget. And a group of people that live outside the country, about 2 million in the United States and about 2 million in Europe, because that's where the bulk of the money comes from. 2 million United States, 2 million in Europe, in Europe, but mainly Britain, sends 21 billion. Our overall economy is worth about half a $1 trillion. That's about $500 billion. And those of us abroad are able to send this kind of money. The government needs to rethink this policy. Because I think, irrespective of what is happening now, and you talk to anybody in Nigeria, things are tough. And we all knew that that was going to happen. When you mismanage an economy, that's what usually happens. But why make it tougher? Why make sending money home tougher? I mean, I've had my little arguments this weekend with people and said, no, you got to do this. And I said, no, maybe you have a Western Union business or something. When you have fewer people doing something, the rates are going to be higher, or the rates are going to be bad, just not the exchange rates, but the percentage they charge, the charging rates are going to be higher. They become really monopolists. 3 companies trying to send 21 billion. The one thing I'm sure will not happen is that 21 billion isn't entering Nigeria in any time soon from those in diaspora. It's not going to happen. The government, the central bank, needs to rethink this. They need to allow a lot of the small companies who are legally registered, just not here, but also in Nigeria, to continue to do their business. The simplicity of the way we sent money home is what has been most beneficial to a lot of people in Nigeria, and of course a lot of us here. Sending money directly into someone's account was really almost a God-sent approach to money remittance. The government had better rethink this, because it will just not harm the people directly, it will harm the overall system. That money was spending money, and it was very important for those at home, and was very important for us here or in Europe or from anywhere you were sending money back into Nigeria, to be comfortable and confident that that money would reach whoever you were sending it to. The government had better rethink this. So you can see the 2 issues that I've talked about today. What I've said, it's an incoherent money policy. Incoherent that because we're not really sure. Right now, in the last couple of days, I've wanted to send money. And everybody's kind of wait and see, because they don't believe this is going to really have to take effect. Because just before it was announced, sent money home at 371. Western Union has been publicizing that they are sending money for you to Nigeria at 345. That's a huge difference. That's a huge difference. And that's what's going to happen. The federal government, the central bank, should please rethink this. The central bank, the federal government, should please don't allow the pilgrims in Nigeria, I don't care what religion or where they're going, to buy foreign exchange at 197. Your religion should be private. If you want to spend money for religious purposes, buy at a prevailing rate of almost 400 naira to $1. We shouldn't subsidize you. So these 2 issues of the incoherency of our policy is very disappointing. But it doesn't matter. I'll be back here next week. Thanks for watching this week. Next week when I come back, of course we're going to take more issues around our world. So for now, have a good rest of the week, and I'll see you all next week. Thanks for watching Point Blank. My name is Patrick Omosagi. Bye-bye for now.